1 2 1 2. How we sound? How we looking? We in the building. Let me make sure we connecting. YouTube, what's good? Bang, bang, bang. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I see we live. I see we live. I see we live. What's good? YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, Kick. We all on all of those stations right now, all of those apps and channels and this, that, and the third. Back again, right? Tag team, back again. Yo, listen. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I see you in the building, Zero. Tiff in the building, Alexis. The Solar Age, whoever that is, salute. Stats in the building. Keyshawn, Eddie in the building. Gerald Alves in the building. Joyce Clay, Asia Scott. We're going to have a doozy. I've been meaning to do this one for a long time, gang. I'm just going to be honest. MJ Rules in the building. D. Lewis. Let me see who else in the building. Elevated Gamer. Pretty Mimi. Bing. Rico Jones. Listen, I want to talk hip-hop today, gang. I want to talk about something that I've been meaning to get to these four dudes, gang. I'm just going to be honest. I saw this video yesterday, right? SZA in the building. Jams. Moo. Listen, or is it Momo? I'm going to go with Moo. All right, Leroy in the building. So first of all, let me say this. All right, before I'm gonna set the premise up, right? Hopefully y'all hear me loud and clear. Your boy Louaista does good work. All right, shout out to Louaista, right? Louaista does he got the other channel. He does good work, right? He does good work. And what I saw on Louaista's channel was something I've been meaning to talk to. I see you, Sams. Don't worry, we got it. I've been meaning to talk about this for a while. Louaista put a video up yesterday, I believe. And the video topic was when corniness kills your career. Right? Justin, I see you. Daniel, I see you. Rewrite the code. Even you. We're gonna get to your boy LaRussell, right? Sams, you good. I know these lives be sporadic. I get it. So Louaista did my job for me. Let's just be honest. He put a video out with all these guys together. Bang, 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 bang. Some hip-hop shit. And something in hip-hop that we've been saying for a while. Some guys appear to be corny, right? But we never ask why. Louaista put a video together. I'm going to go through the whole video. We're going to be here for a while. I got water in my cup. Get you a snack, some Tootsie Rolls, or them little candies that have the little white in the middle with the caramel on the outside. Old head candies. Snack on a couple of them, or you can get you you know what I've been liking lately? And I can't really do it good at home. Brussels sprouts. Baking the Brussels sprouts. When you go out to eat and go to dinner and they have Brussels sprouts on the menu with like honey, get that. Get that appetizer. The fresh roasted Brussels sprouts. That shit's fire. It's not like your mom used to make them. Like our moms used to make Brussels sprouts awful. They would put them in boiling water and boil them. That's terrible. Don't do that to your kids. Now they putting Brussels sprouts in the oven with honey and all kind of good stuff. Get the Brussels sprouts. All right, salute to the chefs that know what they're doing with these Brussels sprouts. But I digress, right? I've been thinking about. I saw a video on Logic probably 6 months ago breaking down why people don't like Logic. Okay, but I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with Logic. Oh, my chat went down. My bad, gang. I don't know what's going on. How do I really feel about Logic? How do I really feel about Big Sean? How do I really feel about LaRussell now that I found out who he is? And how do I feel about Joyner Lucas? I've been wanting to have this conversation for a while. Now I got this video. Salute to Louaista. I'm going to react because I was like, gang, what is going on with these four guys and me and hip hop itself? These guys sell millions of units, but they don't get the respect Why? What's going on, gang? What's going on? Why do I not really listen to any of these guys? I'm just gonna be honest. Gang, I'm gonna be honest. And I know it's gonna be some Big Sean fans here. I tried to listen to Big Sean last album. I swear to God, I tried. I think it came out last year. I tried. It's no disrespect. I just tried. I wanted to. I tried. Right? I tried for years to listen to Logic, and I'm not gonna say he's bad or good. I don't know. I've listened to a couple things from Logic. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to Logic. But I don't even think I've ever fully, when I used to do my album reviews, I never even fully did a full Logic review. Never did I think I did one Joyner Lucas review, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe did a Joyner Lucas review. I think I did one. Never, I don't think I ever did a Big Sean review. Could have been. But I'm like, gang, what is it? What's happening with these guys? Like I said, I say all the time on the What Show. And Joyner Lucas is from the area I'm from, right? He from out here. I was rooting for him. When I first saw him on the BET Cypher, that's how he blew up. Let's just be honest. They put him on the BET Cypher. He murked that and just blew up. And it was like, people were like, that's one of them MCs. They'll never put no shine on. They won't sign him, or they signed him, put him on. And he did his thing, and for a time it was good. But I don't know what to tell you, gang. We don't mention these guys when we start talking top 20, top 30, top 50. I'm just going to be honest. And I know Joyner could spit. I know Logic could spit to a degree. And Logic from where I'm from, PNW, I see you. I'm from the DMV. Allegedly, Logic is from out there, right? I believe Logic is out from up where Upper Marlboro, somewhere up that way. I'm not sure. But he's from where I grew up. I'm from DC, but I grew up in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, the whole DMV. I've been everywhere, right? And Logic is from there, right? But for some crazy reason, in my home, like dudes that I rock with that really know real good hip hop, they'll send me a stuff. Yo, Logic join, all right, da. The soul samples, this, that. He does all that. It just, I don't know. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna react. I'm gonna play the video, and we're gonna all get some answers. But for some reason, is that what it is that I internally feel that they're corny? Like, what is it? Like, how did we get here? Like, I don't know. But do y'all think they corny? I feel like hip hop looks at them in the same actual light. Right? Stat said, "Join I'm Not a Racist" song was corny as hell. He had a black dude rapping about Kool-Aid and white dude saying the most foul shit. Listen, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm a lyricist guy. I'm a guy that loves some lyrics, and I'm going to always root for lyricism and lyrical guys. Everybody in this video is lyrical to a degree, but I just can't shake. Right, and I be rooting for Big Sean. I just did the whole thing last year about the Red Bull Cypher. I don't know why I can't get jiggy with Logic. I can't get jiggy with Sean. I can't finish their albums. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Joyner, but I'm gonna play this video, and we're gonna get some answers, because to me, when I watched this video, right, it kind of made me feel like, I think remember they was calling people tryhards? I think try hard. I think in hip hop, when you try too hard, we don't respond to that. You gotta look like you're giving an effort, but you gotta not look like you're trying too hard. And I'm gonna be honest, I swear, I know Logic is really trying. He's trying really hard. And I think the other thing with these guys, I'm just gonna be honest, is I believe that these guys really, really worried about what people think and say. All four of them. And they threw, and Louaista threw a Hopsin in there. Hopsin and he threw French Montana in the video too. So they're gonna come around in the video too. But I think when you try too hard as a rapper, you gotta kind of seem kind of chill. The most respected rappers are not going crazy to get their point across, and they're not caring what a lot of people think, right? You don't see, for the most part, all of these guys have moments on social media where they looked to be affected by the fans' opinions. All four of them. And French Montana and Hopsin. They all, if you peel, but once you watch this video, you're going to realize that most of them come off corny because they are affected by fans and trolls. Jay-Z doesn't come off like that because he's never arguing back and forth with trolls. He don't even acknowledge him. Nas don't acknowledge him. Your top 5 best the rappers in the Corday. Maul said Corday is another one. Maybe Louaista gonna do a part 2 and put Corday in there. But your favorites are not gonna be looked at as really good artists, or like we're not revering them if they let trolls get to them too much, like a Wale, like a Talib Kweli. Some of these guys, the worst thing that happened to them was social media. Some of these guys can't handle that much access. Wale is not, he's not built for this, right? A lot of these guys, like Logic, admittedly tells you that he let the trolls get to him. He'll be in the middle of a show and let the trolls get to him. Locks was good. All right. So I feel like what we're seeing right now, when we say these guys are corny, we're saying they're corny because they care too much what people think and say. And I feel like Big Sean is one of the. They got a moment in this video where Big Sean almost breaks down, crying because of what the trolls say, and Logic. They all express a deep seated. They reflect on how bad they feel when the trolls troll them. And when the fans don't like their music, they get deeply affected. And I think when you're so emotional about what people are saying to you, I think that makes you come off corny. And to a person like me, I can't really dive into that kind of artist. Just like Pretty Mimi. Oh no, that's Quickie said Jay Elect. Right? Oh, Jay Elect Stove Gods is touring with Jay Elect. I didn't know Stove Gods Cooks was touring with Jay Electronica either. But Jay Electronica, to me, is another one. I think that's why he melted down the other day on his fans and the crowd that was booing. And I get it. Who wants to be booed? Who wants to be booed, right? Nobody. But at the end of the day, I feel like when we look at Logic, we feel like he's going to say and do some extra shit just to not appear corny, and it's going to make it even cornier. And even when he's being vulnerable and he's telling you about his dad, this, that, and the third, it just comes off as like, damn, bro, like all that kind of looks kind of corny. I'm just going to be honest. So I'm going to watch this video and I'm going to be pausing it. But, and Maul said, Big Sean has corny ass bars too. I use Louis V condoms because I'm so effing in style. I was done with that. and Big Sean, in this video, Big Sean admittedly says when people used to get in his comments and write those bars, or they do those threads about his bars, it used to affect him. And he would try to combat that by saying, well, look, I got X amount of platinum records and gold records, da-da-da. You keep cracking on my bars. But end of the day, none of the records is what matters. If you stop thinking about what these people saying, maybe people wouldn't say so much. It wouldn't affect you. But Big Sean does get kicked. Like I was just going to say earlier, when he did the Red Bull Cypher, it was another hip hop moment for him, right? But at the end of the day, Big Sean pretty much got outshined again. I'm just gonna be honest. Now I'm gonna say he had a good verse. He had a good verse in the Red Bull Cypher. Let's just be honest. TJ in the building, I see you, right? But end of the day, I feel like what happens to Sean is he's way too concerned with what the people are going to say. As an artist, right? And I hate to keep saying like Dot or people like that, you don't hear nothing. Whether it's good, bad, talk, indifferent, they're not online every day trying to state their case. And that's the worst kind of rapper to be, as a rapper trying to state your case online. There are people online trolling just so they can get a reaction. So they're not even looking for you to, you're not even going to make you're not even going to make your case with a person like this. So when they're online looking for a react, or they're trying to me love James, I see you. They're not trying to get a real answer from you. They're just trying to get a response. And I feel like these three guys, especially LaRussell had a full-on meltdown. We saw it, right? Like I said, he's coming down the hill with no oranges. He's Vic Mensa with no oranges, coming down the hill with past all these trees every day, walking down the hill, talking, looking for validation and reaction from strangers. That's why he comes off corny. You're the ones that we reveal, the superhero artists that we feel like they're great enough to be put on Mount Rushmores and this, that, and the third. The ones that we argue about, they don't care what fans think. That's why we used to think Ice Cube was so damn tough. We thought Eazy-E, they didn't give a fuck. The rappers that don't give a fuck what the fans think, them are the ones we want to like the most. Right? Tupac didn't give a shit what you thought. Right? A lot of people didn't care. I mean, a lot of artists that we really looked at in a certain light, they gotta have a I don't give a fuck attitude. It is what it is. Logic don't come on. Logic like he really cares what you think. Logic let Joe Budden hurt him for years. He let Joe Budden call him the worst rapper on earth, and he responded and showed how depressed it made him and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, dog, why do you care? I never understood all the rappers that go and clap back at Joe Budden. I'm like, it's too easy to ignore Joe Budden. He don't even rap no more. It's too easy. Salute Girly Jock. Who is the corniest, chat? I say is a dead heat between Drake and Big Sean. Who's corny in between Drake and Big Sean? I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all decide that. But end of the day, right? I feel like what we're seeing is guys that they don't really understand that all of the catering and trying to get the love and adulation. Big Sean wants it really bad. He wants you to say he's the best really bad. And it affects him so much. Like I told you, he was emotional. In this video, Big Sean gets so emotional. You think that he did say he was really depressed. It's gonna be honest. But it looked like a suicide watch type of moment, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. And it's just like, it's really that bad when you care that much what these people say, right? Hopsin the same way. Hopsin is in the video talking about how many comments that went bad for him and he was so hurt, this, that, and the third. Most of the time, when you're reading them comments, if you let it get to you, it's because you actually want them to say good things, and that's what you're looking for. But the internet don't say good things most of the time. It's very few artists that's going to get good things all the time. It's not that many. Let's just be honest. And right now, even Kendrick don't get good things. He gets some people like him, some people don't. But for the most part, we've never seen Kendrick get this much positive love. Like a lot of people have converted to him. But even they're slaughtering him on Twitter. So everybody gonna have comments. What he say? He said, this level of hate, you can't deal with it. Most people can't deal with it. Whacked out murals, right? So end of the day, what we're looking at is guys that we see that they aren't built for there. It's not really a good place, a good space for them when they start basically listening to the trolls and the fans and the stands. They can't handle it because it cuts them too deep. And then they start either lashing out or overdoing things. Like Logic, he went and started doing, oh, I'm gonna do a Playboy Cardi type of song, right? And he actually did it, and people got upset with him. So let me start this video. But Louaista, salute to Louaista, he did good work. Hopefully nothing crazy happened and I get clapped for this video or whatever. But I'm going to play it and it should be fine. All right. So let's get into this video. And I want to react. I'm going to periodically react to. I don't know if y'all seen it, but if you haven't, go check it out over there, or just let's lock in.
Hip-hop is a chess game where every single move you make counts. Not only that, it comes complete with a global audience who are not only watching each decision and scrutinizing it, but actively wanting you to fall. In fact, they savor it. Among all the ways that a hip-hop star in the making can fall out of favor, there's none that are quite so impossible to come back from as being labeled corny. Genuinely, there's some people who have come back from some severely dark allegations who have found it easier to re-enter the public's good graces than someone who's just been deemed to be a lame online.
Who's the most underrated rap artist in the industry? Me?
Every year, it feels like another prosperous star falls into this trap, struggling to ever regain the traction they had, or in some cases, even escape with anything resembling a career. It's your boy Louaista, and this is when corniness kills careers. And at the moment, no one is enduring the pain of that experience quite like one MC from the Bay. Prior to the past few months, LaRussell was best known among hip-hop circles as a guy who'd really managed to excel in the overpopulated and financially treacherous world of the independents. Throughout his road to success, LaRussell carried an inherently positive message, drawing inspiration from the party-oriented hyphy scene more than he did the Bay Area's gangster rap scene. By unveiling music at a really prolific rate, the new leader of the Bay eventually went from spitting bars at a regional level to dropping joint projects with having Lil Jon basically narrate one of his latest works. Along the way, majors such as Roc-Nation came knocking, but he maintained that he was too attuned to what was going down to get ensnared by this.
Roc-Nation, man, they just did some funny shit. They sent me an offer, and the first one was the terms, but then it had no money attached to it. It was just a $15,000 discretionary fund. You're gonna deliver these projects under these terms, 10% 360, 15K discretionary fund, that's yours. I went to the office, they like, what you think? What you gonna do? And I'm like, bruh, where's the money? Like, where the numbers, right? He like, what you mean? And I'm like, bro, it's only 15K. And he's like, oh, no, this ain't it. He makes a call. He's like, yo, it ain't no numbers on the offer. They sent a new offer in like 30 seconds. The new offer was much larger, but by that time I was turned off. If I would have signed this 15K, would you have told me you made a mistake and then you made a $750,000 mistake? I don't want to do business with niggas who make mistakes that big. You gonna fuck my business up, right? But I just felt like that was hella slimy and it wasn't a great representation, and that's why I was like, I gotta holla at Hov, because I got, do you know your niggas moving like this?
However, the rise hasn't been with.
Oh, let me pause it right there. So LaRussell has made he made a name for himself. He did some big moves, but I think right here you're seeing, so he's smart. He's intelligent, this, that, and the third. But I think you're also seeing a little level of arrogance, right? And this is kind of where we got where we are, where LaRussell self-destructed. I think he hit a point where he thought he was bigger than the game. He thinks he's bigger than the game. Let's just be honest. When they're offering you, when they got $750,000 on the table for you, you got Jay-Z co-signing you, you're going to hit a level of arrogance. And the funny thing about it, they're going to get into it where he apologized for Lil Wayne, which he was right about, but wouldn't apologize for Heaven Sent, which he was wrong about, and stood on it and had a whole meltdown and got off social media, went on DJ Head and Gina's show, and made it and doubled down and tripled down. So I think we're seeing a little bit of arrogance, right? Not saying you shouldn't be proud of what you've done, but it also seems that this is how we got to the meltdown, where he can't accept, okay, let's just take a loss and move on. No, he gotta keep talking, being loud, because that's where he got this. That's how he got there, right? Let me continue.
Without issue in recent months. For one thing, he sparked a little controversy previously, catching a lot of flack over some comments he made about the legendary Lil Wayne's lack of lyrical depth.
I had a moment in my journey where I had grew a disdain for Wayne just because I started listening to everything. Like, I started maturing as a human, and I'm like, damn, this nigga wasn't talking about nothing for a long time. And
I think that's about that.
And, you know, like, as someone who like grew up in these communities, right, and grew up with homies who I seen want to be bloods because they following Wayne and want to be gangster and want to shoot all the gun bars. Right. Like, I've seen the negative that he contributed to the community, and I had to look like, man, what are the songs where he really talked about something and gave? And out of 1,000 song catalog, you know, it's minute on this end.
It's like Georgia Bush.
And that do bother me. Tie My Hands.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Tie My Hands is the only one I can think of.
And that's the thing. It's like, if I hug you once, but I slap the shit out you 1,000 times, you know, your affinity for me is going, you're probably going to remember me for this. And a lot of people don't, you know, as I mature, a lot of my old favorite artists, I'm now like, damn.
In spite of the little backlash that he stirred up among Wayne's audience, it became clear that his music and persona was inherently bankable. This reached a point where...
But let me stop it right there. He was right about Lil Wayne, right? I don't think Louaista goes on to explain that he apologized, caved on everything he had just said. but he meant everything he said. That was exactly from his heart. He felt that he had outgrew Wayne. He felt that he listened to, he said, I got older, I matured, and I listened to Wayne, and I realized he wasn't saying nothing fulfilling to me. LaRussell stands on being a conscious, positive rapper. So the stuff that he says and stands on with his, he can't possibly jive with Lil Wayne right now. He can't possibly. Lil Wayne never grew up. So he definitely can't, he can't in any kind of way possibly jive with the message that Wayne has been putting out for like 20 years. Wayne's message hasn't progressed. So all he was saying that basically, listen, I'm older now. I don't relate to the message. It's not really feeding me anything. He could have just left it at that. But them Wayne fans came for him. And he caved because of Wayne fans. He kept telling us, well, I'm a Wayne fan. I'm a Wayne fan. And then he caved. Right there, that's corny. When you cave on what you 100% believe in, right? I've had several moments on this channel where it's stuff I believe in, and it's not often, but sometimes you guys like, nah, that ain't it, right? I stand on it. Most of the time, I'm not gonna. First of all, I haven't had a moment where I had to like actually go back and be like, you know what, guys, da 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 da. Like, well, I did have with the Remy Ma. I said Remy Ma couldn't have been cheating on Papoose. I was wrong about that. I'm just gonna be honest. But it ain't a lot of moments where I'm like, I was wrong, da da da. Like big problem shit. Like yesterday when I was saying that J. Cole didn't put laughing emojis in his thing. Well, I got that off the J. Cole World fan page, and in that one they didn't have no laughing emojis. So I had to retract. I said, listen, J. Cole did put laughing emojis. He wasn't taking himself so serious. But for the most part, when it's stuff that on principle and ideology, right? An ideology that I feel strongly about, like hip-hop, like Jay-Z said, it's the 4 pillars of hip-hop. Only one is left, 3 of them are dead. I feel strongly about that. So I'm going to stand on that, right? End of the day. So that's how I feel like LaRussell, gang, you got to stand on that. I feel like what he did, he really meant that, but he let the pressure get to him. And when we see rappers cave like that, it starts to send a message that you're not really fully locked in on your beliefs. Because at the end of the day, he's supposed to be a conscious rapper that's standing up for more conscious lyrics. And then you said your piece, but then you caved and apologized. That makes you corny.
He was selling copies of an album under a pay what you want project for $1,000 a piece, leading to Jay-Z eventually sweetening the deal enough to get him on board at the Roc.
$1 million question. Why did you sign with Roc-Nation?
I didn't do a deal that was proposed to me. I signed the deal I proposed.
Can we talk about the deal structure?
We went into it with deliverables. Usually artists only have deliverables, but we were like, no, y'all need to meet these metrics for it to make sense.
And I can't leave you out as well. We got to introduce you as well. This is T right here, the manager of LaRussell. With y'all specifically, the conversation is more about the ideology of what an independent artist is.
Bro, Roc-Nation doesn't do anything unless we approve it. And I'm like, it's a beautiful thing. And then some days I'm like, bro, just go. Like, yes, it's okay. But they literally don't do anything unless we give the green light.
I think independent means you're not dependent on anything outside of yourself to have a sustainable business and journey. Like if Roc-Nation left tomorrow, everything would still be here and remaining intact.
Rather than having any ill will over his initial reluctance to sign, Jay lavished praise on LaRussell and basically said he was the future of the genre.
Again, I really salute you, like, cause you for us represent that next wave of people who are gonna like show people the way. That shit.
As for
yo, imagine what that's doing to his ego. Imagine what that's doing to his psyche. Imagine the pressure that he got now. Jay-Z's co-signing him. Imagine how insane that is to be sitting down with Hov and he's telling you you're the future. Imagine. That's almost too much pressure. And then it gives you a $750,000 deal that you orchestrated according to him. Imagine what that's doing to you. Imagine. This guy gotta be through the roof with a level of arrogance you probably can't even comprehend. Because Jay's not saying it about anybody. Jay has had rappers under his wing for years. He's never said they're the future of rap. He ain't say Bleak was the future. A lot of these guys, he never said Beans, this, that, and the third. Maybe at the time, but not in the last 10, 15 years has Jay co-signed a new artist like this. Maybe Lupe, and Lupe was what, 20 years ago? Like, who has Jay co-signed like this? So this guy got a real badge of honor right now. And this is why he feels like he don't gotta apologize for this thing with the Heaven Sent, because he's the future and he's supposed to be doing this kind of stuff. But he messed that deal up, gang. I'm just gonna be honest.
He decided to do it. LaRussell claimed that he wanted a mentor, as he had now turned his local idols into peers and even rivals.
You know, I'm officially signed to Roc-Nation.
Hey,
wow.
Now, what changes does that mean?
It means I now have support beyond just my homies and somebody who truly believe in what I'm doing, who's already done what I've done to show me the path. You know, I've gotten to a point of so much success independently where I'm from that I lost my guides. You know, I surpassed a lot of people who did what I've done. So we've been doing this with no blueprint, no map, no route. Like I'm the first in my family to ever perform at Super Bowl and curate a house band. And you know, all of this is a first, and Hove has been here and done it. So it just gives us a different level of infrastructure. And I'm still indie. I still own all my masters. I still spin my pay. I still do what I want. But now I have a support where, like, I'm from the Bay is going to radio. I've never been able to get to radio. You know, it's just a different system. And as soon as we agree, like, man, let's work, they were instantly like, we believe in this record. We willing to take it to radio. I've had partnerships prior where they try to tell me it ain't worth it. Your song not worth going on radio until you get a TikTok moment or some viral train. It's like, why we count on TikTok to believe in something that we all believe in personally, you know?
But clearly, he should have begun consulting the legendary MC immediately, as he was about to make a fatal mistake.
A lot of these labels are out of touch. They do say stuff like that. You got to get a TikTok moment, this, that, and the third. But I feel like what LaRussell, he got more than he can handle. I think his flame got a little too hot too quick because he got really big, but we wasn't checking for him. We weren't really looking to figure out what LaRussell had going on. I'm just going to be honest, right? But I feel like, what goes in? Well, homeboy say, y'all clown the old grass head with thick ass coat in it. I feel like what we're seeing is a guy that pretty much he got into the spotlight too quick and he needed some juice. I think that Heaven Sent was, he forced it was a conscious moment. It wasn't thought out fully. And I think he was like, yeah, right. This is it. I need something. This is it. This the next hitter. Bang, bang. It's an unthought out. It's not fully flushed out. It's not fully thought out. That moment, that even you, right? That moment, it's the concept of it. It went nowhere. He just wanted to say, okay, this guy's Heaven Sent, that guy's Heaven Sent, but he never went nowhere with it. What was the purpose of bringing in the devil, Epstein? Like Hitler, what was the purpose? It had no purpose. And that's why, you know, he needed something. He was forcing something, some type of movement. He was forcing something where, okay, what's going to trigger this conscious thing to keep rolling, this steam rolling, this thing that Hov signed me for. I think he was forcing a moment that really wasn't there. He didn't flush out any type of message. He just said it. My engineer told me not to say this, so I'm gonna say it, right? So this is why his star blew up too fast, too bright. He got pressure under that deal, and it was pressure to say shit and do shit. So first he came out with the Lil Wayne quote, that kind of backfired. Then he came out with this Heaven Sent thing, which blew up, and I think his career is in real trouble. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm trying to figure out what he can do to come back, but it looks like somebody who really doesn't understand, right? He doesn't understand what the swords to fall on, what fights to fight and what fights not to fight. It's like he gonna fight them all, right? He wants to be this open and honest guy, but at the same time, he doesn't know. Okay, sometimes you need to not say nothing. He should have the moment was past. He should have just not said nothing.
when it came to keeping the audience on his side. At one of his regular shows in the Bay, LaRussell felt like he had the world in the palm of his hands and decided to perform one of his newest tracks. Normally, that wouldn't be a cause of much concern, but in the case of the track Heaven Sent, it might have been LaRussell letting the world know that he was purposefully trying to hit self-destruct.
I remember I made this record and I sent it off to my engineer and he calls me. He said, man, you probably shouldn't put this out. I said, why? What the hell happened? He said, you know, you talk about Epstein, there's a lot of shit going on. And I said, thank you for calling me. I'm finna drop this. That's exactly why we need it. Because everybody's
That's
sitting
arrogance,
silent.
gang.
And the goal of an artist
arrogance.
is to express the times and discuss, say all the things that nobody else want to say or know how to say. You hear me? Hey, I'm not perfect. And neither is the president. Was guiltier than a nigga hiding evidence. You can't be mad that they heated if you don't let them vent. Even the devil was heaven sent. Even Malcolm was heaven sent. Even Martin was heaven sent. Even Kanye was heaven sent. We all heaven sent. Donald too. We all heaven sent. Epstein too.
Epstein
We
too.
all heaven sent.
Yikes, it's rough to listen
Adolf too. We all heaven sent. Even you.
Even you.
We all heaven sent.
In the aftermath, people
Gang, listen. And he delivered it so confidently. But he didn't have nothing. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. What you say that to say what? You say that to say what? What about it? Where did it go? What was the message? What was the purpose? It went nowhere. But it's fake deep, fake woke, right? It's fake woke. But he got to keep this train going. He's the future of rap. So you got to keep the train going.
weren't ready to hear any explanation for what was said and immediately began ripping him into shreds. What's the point of having a team to just ignore him in times like this? Start paying that engineer more. You need him. But as his name suddenly found himself with a new level of tar on it, LaRussell refused to admit to any wrongdoing, let alone an error in judgment.
Nobody who has a opinion on me negatively have done half of what I've done in my life and in my career and for my family. You know, I'm the first to ever do some of the things I'm doing. They're not the first to comment negatively about a nigga, you know, it's like, it's whatever. So I just kind of keep trekking, you know, you're going to get bullets that hit your shield and some going to pierce a little deeper. And it's like, I got to recover. But for the most part, it is what it is. It come with it. Hate come with being great.
Good morning, America. His tweet begins. This is my final statement on this bullshit. The selective outrage and fake righteousness is a joke. It's always us. Y'all been complicit in supporting serial killers, murderers, drug dealers, pimps, and people destroying their community for years. But me saying God made me and he also made these sick ass dudes is where y'all draw the line? Cut it out. If you're gonna be outraged by it all. Turn the murder music off and every other detrimental form of art you consume. I'm one of the few dudes in this shit smiling and putting good into the ecosystem. I'ma keep saying and doing what I want with my art because I'm a fucking artist. Y'all can keep being fake outraged and complicit with everything else. I'm saying every human was made by God, even the evil ones, even the ones going to hell alongside some of y'all uncles, daddies, and favorite rappers. Although he's right in that he...
So listen. That's pure arrogance. Instead of owning up to what you're saying, instead of understanding that the people don't want you comparing the devil in Hitler to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And even they don't want to be saying thrown in there, even you, as if we're fucked up. And even you, as we're as messed up as Epstein and Trump. Didn't he say Trump too? Right? So people are rightfully so offended. He's trying to make it like y'all don't have no nuance, right? But it's not that we don't have no nuance. It's that you use the term wrong. Heaven sent means it's supposed to be good timing. It's perfect timing from God. What about these guys you're naming was perfect timing for the human race? The devil, Epstein, Hitler. What about any of them was perfect timing? He didn't want to hear that.
Didn't necessarily say they'd return to the kingdom he spoke of. It was the way that he expressed it. The sheer notion of these people being in any way a positive creation was just not flying with anyone whatsoever. Still, no matter how much others pleaded with him to admit to some kind of wrongdoing, LaRussell stood 10 toes down on the fact that he had nothing to apologize for.
Do you regret anything that you've done with the song, the performance,
Not
from
at
the
all.
beginning, not listening to your engineer?
Not at all.
The way that you responded,
Not at all.
the way that you've been handling it this whole time?
Not at all.
No regrets at all?
None.
Do you think you've said anything wrong?
No.
Is there somebody in your life that will hit you and call and like be like, "Hey, you tripping"?
The engineer.
Well, no, I'm talking about.
If I'm really tripping,
Yeah. What did that person have to say about this?
These niggas stupid.
These niggas stupid.
Yep.
You got another person?
It's fake outrage. I can make whatever art comes to me. Anybody who makes music, you know, at a level where you really rapping about something, not just bullshit, but rapping about life. And as an artist, it's our job to put art out into the world, however that may come. I don't have to change my art because it makes you uncomfortable.
In the aftermath, he did eventually reveal that he would be taking a break, citing the relentless social media campaign he'd been on for the past 5 years, rather than the heat that he was enduring at the minute. Meanwhile, his inner circle clarified that he wasn't actively ignoring anyone, but just staying off the grid. Despite his best efforts to graduate,
The thing with LaRussell, right? You can the level of cringe is the problem too. You see that the people in the comments are right. Like the level of cringe, you like, ooh, like, come on, gang. Like, if you don't know how to, and Gina Views was trying to help him. If you don't understand that some of this stuff is just cringy to hear, just in and of itself, without even the concept, it's just cringy to hear. That's going to be a problem for some people. It is what it is.
retreat until the animosity wears off, it seems like his supporters, most notably his mom, won't let him catch a break, organizing an entire protest to spotlight his issues as though he were a man who had been accused of some terrible crime without evidence. And when people got wind of what was going down in his home city of Vallejo, it didn't exactly help his case.
March for LaRussell, rallied for him because his mom told us to come out here. And I think that's what people are upset with LaRussell the most about, is that he said that everybody was created by the same hands, which are God's, but they didn't want to hear Epstein or Jeffrey Dahmer or any of those people. So that's why they're angry. I mean, but you know I know the word.
I feel like what he said, you gotta listen to what he said. You feel me? Like, he told no lie. We all did come from God.
No. He said he was speaking positivity, man. Basically, let everybody know we all creatures of God. You know what I'm saying? That's all he said.
The internet is not a real place, but this is real. The love is real. The community support is real. That's what.
Let's just be honest. LaRussell mom made that worse by having that rally. His mom put that rally together. I think 40-some people showed up, which is whatever, right? But end of the day, you're trying to have a rally for a guy that don't deserve a rally because he's not doing nothing with this situation. It's making it worse. It fanned more flames. Now you got his fans out there trying to cope for him and make up scriptures and this, that, and the third and try to explain away the nonsense, right? So end of the day, we're looking at this. This is doubling down, tripling down, and making a problem a bigger problem. Okay, and he didn't learn nothing from it. So you got these guys out there trying to tell him he's right and he should not apologize. I don't even think it's about an apology at this point. To me, I don't want no apology. I just want you to stop talking about it. Move on. Because ain't nothing to apologize. This is what you wrote. You said it. This is your song. It is what it is. Just stop coming back. He's responding like five, 6 times, gang. That's the problem. He keeps responding.
Do you think there's any valid criticisms of his bars?
No, because if you understand biblical sense, you understand. Because we're all heaven sent, but we're not all heaven bound. They want an apology from him. That's all it's about. Accountability and an apology.
Do you think he's going to do that?
No.
This is some Boondocks shit. The fact that his own mother organized this because her son's feelings were hurt makes perfect sense as to why he lacks accountability. Faced with more opposition than he'd ever had at any stage in his career, time will tell if LaRussell can regroup and move past this truly unfortunate situation. But for now, it seems like he's going to have to endure being the butt of the joke for a while longer.
I understand what he was trying to do. He just did it absolutely horribly.
Dog. Your engineer had your best interest in mind.
You
He tried
can't
to
go
help
from
you.
Satan to Malcolm. Nah.
You can't, it's saying even.
It's the even.
Even that word mean, man.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
By comparison to some people, LaRussell has only had to deal with this for a brief window in time. Because for some rappers, they've literally had to try and fend off the corny tag for most of their career. For Detroit's Big Sean, it once seemed like the industry was his for the
So for the people in the chat, this is where we get to Big Sean. Boy, this is where we get to Big Sean. Now we off LaRussell. After watching that whole thing, I feel like LaRussell comes off corny because of his arrogance and his inability to admit when he's wrong or to just leave it alone. He doesn't know how to leave stuff alone. This thing would have died down that same week that he did. If he would have did the song, the Heaven Sent Da-Da-Da, it would have went viral, people clowning him. It would have been like a 2-day story. But he came down, he went down that hill 3 times responding. He wrote 3 different posts on YouTube. I mean, I'm sorry, on Twitter and Instagram, this, that, wherever he put it at, trying to state his case, and he kept repeating it. Then he went on DJ Head and Gina View show and tripled down. And it's like, gang, we had enough. So that's corny. That's corny to keep going backwards on something that the community and the culture has already said we disagree. Now we're gonna get the Big Sean. Boy, let's get the Big Sean.
After running into Ye at a radio station and spitting for him, Kanye said of their initial meeting that it was like something from the movies. I could hear his personality and character and style on it. He just walked up to me and said a rap, and I said, "I'ma sign you." With that sort of origin, there seemed to be no way that he wouldn't succeed, and that would certainly be the case. With tracks like Marvin and Chardonnay and Dance with Nicki Minaj enabling his debut project Finally Famous to peak at number 3. Over the years, Ye played an active role in 7 of the Detroit MC's 17 platinum selling singles, with the biggest Billboard triumph coming in 2015 when his album Dark Sky Paradise reached the top spot and sold over 173,000 copies in its first week. Following this major victory, he should have been regarded as a top-tier artist and arguably in contention to be one of the biggest names in the game. But for whatever reason, it didn't go down like that.
What keeps you up at night?
That hunger, man. I don't know, just focus,
Who's the most underrated rap artist in the industry?
Me.
Due to the numbers he was
Well, let me just say this. I know y'all gonna say that's corny, but I don't know what a rapper is supposed to say. But at the end of the day, I don't know if you should have said that, Sean. Me, I'm the most underrated. But we always say rappers supposed to have a certain level of confidence, right? We're supposed to be able to say, I'm number one, I'm the best. We just got on Cole for saying he just say that stuff, but he don't really believe it. So I'm gonna let y'all decide if that's corny or what, right? When you give me your top 10, you're not supposed to put yourself in there. I get it. But I'm not gonna beat him up too much for that answer, right? I'm not gonna beat him up too much. He says me, and he slept on it in his mind. So let me continue.
Commanding, it would be assumed that he should have been spoken about in the same reverent tones of people like Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake. But there was something about Sean that just always rubbed people.
All right, right there. That's the root of this problem. This is why Sean is on this video. This is why Sean and anybody that does this, right, consistently keep trying to compare themselves to people that the quote unquote culture has decided, because some of the stuff was decided by the culture and some of the stuff was planted and made you want to say that it's Drake, this, that, and the third. But the culture had always says certain people. And for a time, it was Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. That's who was getting all the love, and that's who the culture was anointing at a high level. When you started saying, okay, who's running this shit? You would start naming those 3, just like they used to say Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas. They used to say that. That's what the culture was. Now, a person who the culture is not acknowledging in that space, but they keep inserting themselves in there, like, you're not looking at me, I'm as good as them, that's corny. If Big Sean would have just rapped, did his job, did what he does, we wouldn't be saying it's cringe and corny. But the simple fact of the matter is, right? The simple fact of the matter is, Big Sean has made a career out of saying, I'm overlooked. You're not mentioning me. Right? And there's more than one way to do it, but he done it every kind of way. He done it on social media. He done it in his raps. He done it in his interviews. You guys are overlooking me. So when rappers do that, instead of getting in the booth and proving it, they keep reminding you of how many they've sold and what they've done, the features they keep reminding you that's corny. For the people in the comments asking, that's corny. Your confidence is at a low level, and you keep trying to tell us that we need to include you. I remember, gang, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. There was a time, I think it was I don't know what year it was, guys, and you're going to tell me if I'm crazy. There was a time Big Sean has said that so much that the media started forcing his name in that conversation when the regular people weren't saying it. It was like he was saying it so much that it started to be like, you guys got to consider Big Sean. They were almost making us consider him. Am I bugging out? I feel like at one point they were almost saying, don't forget Big Sean. You guys don't give Big Sean his props. He just had a #1 record. He got features. I feel like it was a thing where they were almost forcing his name in the conversation. For a time, we had to start saying, well, why can't you put him in there? We had to start proving that he didn't belong in there. Let me continue.
People the wrong way.
Big Sean has quite possibly the most annoying voice of all rappers. He grates my fucking nerves when he rhymes, and his voice totally doesn't match with any of the beats. I'd rather hear V Nasty sing nursery rhymes with nigga in them over and over again than listen to Big Sean rap. He's terrible.
So it's kind of like the cool thing to say that Big Sean is corny or that he's whack, right? But I feel like there are actually legitimate reasons for why he shouldn't be or is not at the level that fans or even himself, because he feels a way about not being considered in the top spot of hip-hop. And I believe one of the biggest reasons that Big Sean does not get the respect that even he feels he deserves is because he has no persona. Big Sean is an artist that literally raps about Big Sean, alright? There's no separation. There's nothing appealing about Big Sean other than Big Sean. And if you're not keen on Big Sean, then there's really no reason for you to listen to his music, anticipate it, be excited about it, want to hear more from him. It's almost to the point where...
Ain't that Sean C? He's right there. He's right. He's absolutely right. Big Sean raps about Big Sean. I spit boy all the time. Boy, he always rapping about himself. He's not telling you who he is. He's just telling you Big Sean is a great rapper. You need to respect him. Right? It is what it is. And Big Sean he's not really, I don't know all of his music, but from most of what I heard, it's almost that Big Sean kind of like just tells you how good Big Sean is over and over. I'm just going to be honest.
It's like someone else could easily rap about Big Sean's life better than he could.
Often, Big Sean only made matters worse, blocking Twitter users who referenced some of his more unfortunate bars. After a Twitter thread from 2021 asked, "Who's the worst rapper you've ever heard and why is it Big Sean?" one man cited a rhyme scheme where he declared, "I'm Quagmire, I fuck hoes, I giggity get it."
Well, hold up, yo. Before we get to that, right? Before we get to that, right? When you're blocking, I get it. You get to a point where you don't want to hear this, that, and the third. But once people learn you're blocking people because they are saying your rhymes back to you or they're making threads of you, right then and there, they know they touched you. They know they got you. These trolls live for this kind of shit. And when they can rock your snot box and get you out of your character, they coming. They're gonna do it even more and even more and even more. And when they learn that they can do a thread with all your words, it's the internet, gang. They're gonna do shit. This is what I gotta say to Big Sean, gang. This is the shit I won't understand. And it's gonna be all of them, all the people that's on this thing, Logic, LaRussell, Joyner, and Big Sean. The one thing that they keep telling us all they really matters is their success, how many records they've said sold, and this, that, and the third. And instead of leaning on that, right? Instead of just saying, I'm comfortable in my skin, I make a lot of money at what I do. A lot of people come to see me. There's a lot of things going on in my life that I'm happy with. They will go into the comments. That's why LaRussell is doing what he did. I 100% believe LaRussell saw one troll that was really, really mean. And that's the guy he's fighting. I don't think that he don't understand it. I think he don't want to give into that troll. There's one troll, because what he keep going back to the same thing. And he keep talking about how these guys don't got nothing and I got this and you ain't live up to what I got. I did this, that, and he's talking to a troll. And that's what Sean is doing. He's talking to a troll. Okay, so end of the day, what we're going to do is understand that when they start addressing these, trolls, that's when they get corny and cringe, because they start to lose faith of what they got inside, what's going on. They got fans, right? How J. Cole said, the nigga got fans. If you got fans and you're more worried about impressing trolls, that's corny. The legends in this business don't impress. They don't do shit to impress trolls. And that's why LaRussell having a rough time right now. Sean having a rough time right now. Joyner having a real rough time right now. When we get to Joyner's part, you're going to be like, yo, what the heck? Okay. And this guy's having a rough time. But it gets wait, it gets worse.
I'm surprised you even remember stuff I did over a decade ago, especially if you didn't like it, LOL, Sean replied. I outgrew that line in a lot of my old stuff too, but I also have gone platinum like 50 times after that, LOL. As we know, the worst thing that you can do these days is feed into the trolls, because for Sean, this only solidified the opinion of where he sits in the game, to the point that he even acknowledged that he can't catch a break.
I know what it's like to know your full potential and that shit not be executed, you know what I mean? So it's just, I know what it feel like to be slept on for sure. And it's like, I tweeted the other day, like, I know what it feel like to be slept on. It's painful. I'm gonna put that out into the universe that I'm top 5, because, you know, that's what I'm bringing. That's what I want to bring to the game. That's how I feel every time I step into the booth, you know? I feel like I'm the best, and I'm gonna keep proving myself.
After a 3-year hiatus where he attempted to overcome his mental health issues, 2020's Detroit 2 renewed his buzz, but it ultimately couldn't be capitalized on because of trolls like that. And soon, any momentum he had was usurped by the fact that even his former Good Music label boss Kanye revealed that he regretted his decision to sign him.
When I die, on my tombstone it's gonna say, I deserve to be here because I signed Big Sean. I'm saying that the worst thing I've ever done was sign Big Sean.
That's a beautiful thing. Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Hold up.
No, wait.
The worst.
The worst.
In the aftermath of Big Sean,
let me just say this: that was whack when Ye did that. I'm just gonna be honest. That was some backstabbing shit. That was crazy, because Big Sean, if I'm not mistaken, is the most successful artist on Good, right? Kid Cudi been gone. He gonna say that later. Kid Cudi been gone for years. Big Sean had mad records on there that did very well. He's one of his biggest artists on Good. A lot of them artists, we had a designer, right? Pusha T wasn't doing the numbers of a Big Sean. Apparently, Big Sean and Pusha T, I don't know if they were close or what have you, but for Ye to say, but that's when Ye was in full on manic. Like when he was saying that kind of stuff, it's just like to just lash out and hurt people. But I think that's when Kanye, I think that's when Sean had commented this, when Ye was doing all that presidential stuff, and I think Big Sean had commented something about it. It was goofy. You're running for president and you're promoting Trump at the same time. You're trying to run on the ticket. It's this goofy shit. So Sean rightfully so said something. And I think it don't take much for Ye to flip on you. So I think a snap of a finger, all of a sudden he's the worst artist I ever signed. I thought that was whack.
Sean attempted to take it in his stride, even if it evidently stung.
When you first heard that, what did you think? What was the first reaction?
At first, I thought it was hilarious.
Right.
I thought the shit was funny.
Right.
Then I took it personal.
Right, cool.
I took it personal because I'm the only artist who's put out 5 albums under Good Music. Cudi left a long time ago, business-wise. You know what I'm saying? And they still clicked up and linked up, right? So I'm the only artist who put out 5 albums under Good Music. I'm the only one who put out back-to-back-to-back #1s, platinum albums, double platinum albums. platinum album. You know, he texted me the next day and said, I want to meet with you and your mom to begin healing on both sides. And I was angry. And I took it too personally because it's like, you publicly humiliated me when I've been down for you. Now peep this out. While he was running for president, I didn't have his contact. But I thought what he said was some bitch ass shit. And I thought that that wasn't godly. You know, that wasn't, it was just like, it was a personal attack.
Now, independent and in control of his...
It was a personal attack. And I think that Ye does that stuff, but then he wants to sit down and heal. He throws that word heal around a lot. That right there ain't something you can quickly just, we're going to sit down and heal. Because Ye sounded like he meant that shit. And there's a lot of things that Ye has said at that time that he sounded like he really meant. So end of the day, it looked like Ye once again went all for Ye, but then the next day he's on the phone trying to, we want to heal you and sit down and get you, and you know what I'm saying? Calm you down and da-da-da-da. But it seemed like that's a lot of that going on. Everybody ain't for all that.
Own music, Big Sean should be flying high, but due to the notion that he's a lesser rapper than his peers due to his corny ways, the result is that his last album, 2024's Better You Than Me, moved only 22K units in his first week. And even as it was about to be released, it was clear that hip-hop has put him through the ringer.
The album is dropping this week, and you know, I appreciate my mom for being like that guardian angel, always like giving me that advice for real. And, she really taught me through it for real. And like I said, I ain't been sleeping a lot. I've been like kind of like just giving this shit my all, and I'm burnt the fuck out. You know, tired, but I do this shit for the people who fuck with me. You know, I do it for the fans. I do it for, you know, with the power of Jesus Christ too, for real, and like all my angels, you know. So I'm excited, and that's one thing my mom said. She said, "Yo, get excited, like drop your album, it's fire," you know. And everyone around me keeps saying that, so it's dropping this week. And
after such a promising origin,
I'm just gonna be honest. That's very depressing. I'm just gonna be honest. But this is the part of it. You shouldn't go live in a state like that, in an emotional state like that. He's clearly in an emotional state, struggling, right? I believe he said he struggled really, really badly with depression, this, that, and the third. All of us go through some shit. That's not where you want to do it at on live with people, because some people are going to use that against you. And at the end of the day, everybody don't need to know when you in trauma, right? So I feel like something like that is a point where he needs to fall back. This is the difference between corny, cringe, and for lack of a better word, cool, right? Somebody going through their shit in their own privacy, they're not showing you, and they come out, they give the air of, and I'm not saying this is right, wrong, or difference, but they come out when they're ready to come out. They give the air of confidence, control. I'm coming out when I'm ready to deal with you. I choose me, right? That's the difference. You got to learn to choose you and when it's time to pop out and when it ain't. That's a very bad video to be out there. That's going to be out there forever.
and a brief run where things looked really promising, Big Sean got lost amid the stress of it all and wound up acting in ways that were deemed as cringe. But he's far from the only one. Among the biggest missed opportunities in the world of lyrical rap in recent years is Joyner Lucas, but his lack of self-awareness has repeatedly got in the way. As is often the case, things started well, with his breakout mixtape 508, 507, 2209 establishing him as an MC with a unique perspective and lethal flow. Then releasing I'm Not a Racist on November 29th, 2017 made him a big deal, with the song's controversial subject matter and visuals helping it become his most successful song by a mile. And it birthed his new way of working. I take the video first approach. He relayed to Revolt. I write the video treatment first. I write the soundtrack to the visuals, and once I know what the video is going to look like, I go and create the record around the structure of the video. That approach works for me. As he kept picking up speed, he wound up being championed by his hero, Eminem, claiming that he saw him as...
Hold on. Unceremoniously, we rolled right into Joyner Lucas. I was looking at the comments. We got off Big Sean and we went into Joyner Lucas. So now we in the Joyner Lucas territory. So we saw LaRussell, which I determined LaRussell is way too cringe and arrogant for his own good. With Big Sean, I think Big Sean is too unemotional. He's too emotionally unstable to be dealing with these trolls and fans because they seem to affect him. Seems like it's a very big problem because he's really concerned with their thoughts, right? And what they got to say. So that's not a good look, and that's going to come off cringe or corny when you're so involved in what trolls and fans are thinking and not thinking, and that's going to come off corny. So that's 2. Now we're gonna hit Joyner Lucas, right? Which I feel is he's a rapidy rap guy. He can put words together like the Matrix. He can put that shit in code. Bang, bang, bang. This guy is Neo right now with this rap game. But he's describing how Joyner makes the video in his mind first, puts out the whole treatment, then writes the song. I don't know how I feel about that. And I think that's why when I listen to Joyner's music without the video, it's a different, you got to watch. If you're making, he just literally said he makes the music around the video. I can rewind a little bit. He does the video treatment in his mind first, puts that all on paper, da-da-da. Then he goes and writes the song as a video. I think that's a little backwards for hip hop. I'm just going to be honest. Let me set it up again.
Lucas, but his lack of self-awareness has repeatedly got in the way. As is often the case, things started well with his breakout mixtape 508, 507, 2209, establishing him as an MC with perspective and lethal flow. Then releasing I'm Not a Racist on November 29th, 2017 made him a big deal, with the song's controversial subject matter and visuals helping it become his most successful song by a mile, and it birthed his new way of working. I take the video first approach. He relayed to Revolt. I write the video treatment first. I write the soundtrack to the visuals, and once I know what the video is going to look like, I go and create the record around the structure of the video. That approach works for me. As he kept picking up speed, he wound up being championed by his hero Eminem, claiming that he saw him as one of the best in the game, and even getting the chance to collaborate with him on the track Lucky You.
I had a conversation with him on the shoot of Lucky You, and I was in his trailer, and I'm like, yeah, man, like anytime you want to talk, or anytime you want to build, and like you can hit me, you know what I'm saying? Like we could talk and we could build on the music. He was like, yeah. I could tell he was really like real standoffish, you know what I'm saying? And I'll ask Royce, like, yo, why is he like that? He's like, man, he's just been through a lot of, you know, he's very closed off and be just like, damn. And I never understood it, right? And it's just like when I started, you know, experiencing this shit, I got it. You don't want new friends, like you don't want, and it's like, I get it 100%.
And he was the biggest star in the world at one point, so imagine.
He still is.
Alongside defending the likes of
Then the thing about it, Eminem has gone through a lot of people turning their back on him and this, that, and the third. You got to think anything he say and do could be used against him. They could be screenshotting like, yeah, dude, put the shit out there. So he's going to be mad protective. And I would expect Joyner to understand that. I don't know why he would ask Royce, why is he like that? Like, Eminem don't really be chilling with nobody. So for him to even have you in the room talking to you is saying that he trusts you to a degree. And I guess they built on that, and I guess they became closer, this, that, and the third. But Joyner Lucas, I feel like he almost loves the game too much, right? To a point where he thinks everybody else should love it the way he loves it, right? Just like his affinity for Will Smith, trying to make Will Smith a better rapper, this, that, and the third. And I think he did a lot, that's his idol. Will Smith is one of his idols, which is nothing wrong with that. As a rapper, especially of a millennial or Gen X, right? The people of that age going to look at Will Smith with a different light, right? They're going to say, oh, he has some bangers, like boom, shake the room, right? And all this other stuff. What's the other one? A brand new funk, right? People are going to look at those his going to Miami, right? They're going to look at Will Smith with a certain they're going to revere him to a degree, right? And so therefore, he's one of them people. But at the same time, you can't make Will Smith better at rapping. So you tried, Nas tried. A lot of people tried it for a time they could, but at the end of the day, some stuff you just can't do, right? So you get to work with Will Smith, this, that, and the third, cool. But you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt and move on. I think Joyner Lucas kind of like, no, these are my idols I want to work with. I want to work with him. I want to work with this guy, da-da-da, right? And I think he takes everything to heart, just like he said when Eminem was standoffish, he went to ask Royce, why is he like that? Instead of just being like, he don't got to be anything. We just met. I don't know him like that. So just work with him and move on. Like, I think he internalized a lot of stuff and overthinks. And I think that's why he got into it with him and Logic. And I think that He got this whole UK battle and a lot of stuff he's overthinking. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's trying to be what he thinks hip hop wants him to be. You got to work with these legends. You got to make these big records with these really amazing videos. I've been saying all the time, Joyner Lucas could come out with an album. The shit could do 150,000 the first week, and nobody's talking about it. I've been saying this for years. I don't know why. And I respect the man. I've been rooting for him since the damn BET Cypher. I've been rooting for him. But for some reason, he don't get the love that these other rappers get. And that's what they were asking him. Why you think you don't? But they was jumping too high talking about Drake and Ken. He's not going to be on their level. But Charlamagne's like, why you don't think you get the same love? Well, he's new and he's mad passionate. And I think that some people look at him like, yo, this dude. Some people I'm just going to be honest. Some people, and this is a dumbass word, but they too hip hop. And what I mean by that is they can't relate outside of it, right? Hip hop is a culture that it's a thin line between being too rapidy rap and being not enough rapidy rap. It's a very thin line where you get to be unrelatable. It's like a nerd in a class a science class He's not going to be able to relate. He's going to be socially awkward when he's super worked up into nerdish things and chemicals and all this shit he got going, experiments and math equations, When he gets out into the real world, yeah, he may be super great at writing all kind of shit and but in the real world, they can't relate to him because his mind functions on a level that they don't really want to relate to him. So I think maybe Joyner's mind is fun. And then I hear some of his stuff. He tries to almost do street stuff, and it's, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you can't be both. Like to me, you can't be both. But you could try, right? You can be both to a degree, but at some point, you're gonna have to decide. And I think Joyner may be too rapidy rap for some of these people to understand and actually follow his fan base. I'm just gonna be honest. That fan base. I don't know. They it's like a whole room of fucking. I don't know who is a Joyner Lucas fan. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know who's like, yeah, give me that Lucas. Not saying he don't have. He got mad fans, and that's the thing. That's what the more this video goes on, he's another one still chasing something, just like Hopsin. He's chasing something. You got your fan base. Just cater to them. But it feels like Joyner always trying to reach the next fan base or get bigger and get it. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's too much. Let me continue.
R. Kelly and Chris Brown, Joyner put a target on his back when he claimed that he was up there alongside the big three.
The J. Coles, and we talk about Kendricks, and we talk about Drakes. Why don't they ever talk about Joyner Lucas in those same conversations?
Drake was in the game 10 years before I came in the game. Kendrick got in the game like at least 7-8 years before I got in the game. J. Cole's been in the game for about 7-8 years, but he came in when Kendrick came in. Pause. That's number one. Number two, I am in those conversations when you're talking to people like Marshall. He puts me right next to that man. He'll be like, his favorite artist is, sometimes he'll even throw my name first. You know what I'm saying? Joyner, Cole.
Let's be honest. Marshall's the same way. Eminem, I rock with Eminem heavy. But Eminem is enclosed too in that super duper rapidy rap scientist experimental world of bars on top of bars, analyzing bars that already been analyzed 10 times, 15 times. So he's a super lyrical rapper too. And you gotta really want to listen to Eminem. That's why Eminem will throw you a Slim Shady. He'll throw you those because he knows the other stuff is getting too scientifical, right? What's Rap God? How many bars in Rap God? This shit's like fucking. I don't need 5 minutes of just rapping. So it's like that ain't for everybody, right? That's not for everybody. But at the end of the day, I feel like him and Eminem, they're on a level, almost a spiritual level with this rapping. Everybody's not. Right? Eminem has fans he's collected from years ago. So he's going to go every time he comes out. He's going to go number one, this, that, and the third. He's going to do big numbers because he's collected 25 years of fans. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same. You guys aren't on the same playing field. You can't do what Eminem used to do right now. The stuff Eminem used to get away with won't work right now. They wasn't even, the little bit of shit he said on the last album, they was trying to cancel him for like 2 lines. So you can't do what he used to say now. So at the end of the day, if Joyner Lucas, if that's what he's trying to emulate, that's going to be a tough sale to the average, to the hip hop as a whole, to the big picture. That's why they can't. It's too lyrical. It's too much going on. Even when you try to do the street stuff, you can't. They're not going to relate to your street stuff when they know that most of your shit, even the street stuff, is lyrical. So that you can't be both. When they go to hear your other shit, it's this mad scientist shit. They're like, what the fuck? Right? Let me continue.
Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? And he had, you know, he definitely acknowledges that, and you know, he's, in my mind, you know, he's considered, you know, one of the greatest, if not the greatest. So if I'm getting, if that guy is saying those things, and I guess that means that stands for something, right? It means something. Apart from that, I don't really care, like, if I'm mentioned with those guys. I don't think I have enough time in yet. They have more time.
But as he got more and more,
you can't say you don't care. That's one thing a real rapper such as Joyner Lucas, you can't try to fool us and say you don't care if you're mentioned with Drake and them. Because if you were mentioned with them, you would be jumping up and down. Right? So you can't say you don't care. You know the culture very well. You know the players of the game. Those are your peers, for lack of a better word. Yes, they were in the game before you, but at this time and this point in time, when that interview was done, that's probably like about 3-4 years ago when that interview was done. At that time, those were your peers. Now you may not have their fans, but you do have this moment in time. Sometimes people shoot up in the game fast and become peers, whether they earned it or not. Right? At one point, Lil Nas X was shot up and now he's somebody's peer, believe it or not. Sad to say. But at the end of the day, he fell off. But at one point, not saying lyrically, but what I'm saying, they wasn't saying he was on their level lyrically, but numbers and streaming, like these people like the Judge shit, he was doing their kind of numbers. And they were throwing his name in the conversation of, oh, making money, rappers that make money that can bring in a certain amount of fans in the building. His name was there. Erroneous as fuck, but it was there. So what I'm saying is your peers are the people that are active at that time. You can't say you don't care to be named with them.
more overexposed, people grew weary of hearing what they felt was the same formula from him over and over again. This ain't a hot take, this is just reality. Nobody with good taste in music is going out of their way to play Joyner Lucas. The man as an artist brings nothing new to the table that's added to the culture to assist in showcasing how dope and creative hip-hop can be. Tattooed and dirty looking with raps like Eminem and Weird Al Yankovic, sprinkled with Macklemore I'm a gay kid perspectives, with an online Twitter tantrum every time it's time to sell that trash, should have landed that man in jail, or at the very least completely banished him from the black community. Name me the last time you heard Joyner Lucas beating in cars, in the hood, or influencing someone/something within the community to take hip-hop as an art to another level. Garbage. And as a result, continually working with big stars ranging from NBA YoungBoy to Ty Dolla $ign haven't helped him gain a bit. In fact, the only time that he broke into the charts at an unremarkable number 93 came in 2024 when he teamed up with country phenom Jelly Roll for the track Best For Me. With projects like Not Now.
So him teaming up with NBA YoungBoy and 21 Savage, I believe he said, that's not his fan base and it didn't stick. You're lyrically, for lack of a better word, superior to them. And you're going to prove it when you step on it, because you're going in there they're coming in there to just make a competent record that sounds good for their fans' ears. They're going to say exactly what their fans want to hear. They're not trying to outbar you, rap anybody. They're just going to do their verse, move on. You're going to come in with a chip on your shoulder, trying to body them, eat the whole shit. It's a different energy. The fans can feel that. So they're not going to start trying to find out who you are, this, that, and the third. Just like Offset went on tour with, he's allegedly opening for, he was opening for NBA YoungBoy. It didn't manifest into new fans for him, because that's not his fan, that's not his market. So when he goes and does records with NBA YoungBoys and guys like that, it's shooting himself in the foot, because that's not his fan base. And this is why we say people are corny, because they, just like when Cole started working with guys beneath them. Now get this, Cole did 2 records with guys that's lyrically beneath them, and those are the 2 records he got Grammys for. He never got Grammys for all his lyrical miracle shit. Right? But at the same time, if he does big numbers with his own shit, with his own fans. He has a massive fan base, bigger than the 2 guys that he got the Grammys with. I'm just going to be honest. J. Cole fan base is bigger than 21 Savage and bigger than Lil Durk. Let's just if you just do a quick number search in the tours that he does right? So he doesn't need to do these records with these guys. And Joyner doesn't need an NBA young boy feature. He wants both sides. He wants to be everything to everybody. And that's the problem with a lot of rappers. They can't accept their place. Some of these rappers don't know their place as far as who's their fans. Some rappers do it very well. Like Hieroglyphics from the West Coast. They have been independent for 30 plus years. 93 till infinity. Kill all that whack. They have been independent for 30 years. Them guys know their fan base. Because when it's not popping no more, then that's when you're gonna feel the pain when you don't know your fan base and you're chasing all these different type of people that don't care what you got going on. Griselda understands who their fans are. Gibbs understands who his fans is. He's not going to try to experiment. Freddie Gibbs is coming with Freddie Gibbs material every single time. They don't switch up. They don't try to experiment too much, right? Although Conway did do a little bit of experiment. He's getting a little bit to experiment too. He's still making good records, but I think Conway, he's trying to branch out, but he still comes back. He's going to do Conway, right? Benny going to do Benny. I think Joyner, he needs to understand who his fan base is, and if you listen as you listen to this, some of his fan base is like it's getting a little. We kind of getting over it too a little bit. Let me continue.
Now I'm busy in ADH2 failing to come anywhere near the top 20. Joyner's fans are beginning to grow weary of his style, when it really didn't translate well to some of his newer work. Don't get me wrong, I still love Joyner and most of his music, but I won't get super upset if someone calls him corny, because he just released his new single Monsters with a music video, and the only words that could come out of my mouth were what the fuck. Because holy shit, this song literally just sounds like a worse version of Tear Me Down, with a super cheesy sounding hook, and there's almost nothing special with his verses besides a couple of bars. It's extremely repetitive to some songs he's already done, and that music video was horrid. I love Stranger Things, but using that as a concept for a music video is a super cringe idea. It just felt so stupid. But overall, I don't think Joyner is completely corny. Yes, he has a few songs here and there, but I think a lot of the songs that get attention for getting corny aren't like I'm Not Racist. They should be saying those comments on songs like this. I still love Joyner, and he's still one of my favorite rappers, and I will continue to listen to him. I just want him to do better. I really hope the rest of this deluxe is nothing like this. During his
So hold up, Stats. I gotta correct you. So we all thought that Conway had that dress on. Conway said that was a towel. He said he was at the gym and that dress that they went viral saying Conway the Machine. He said that was just a towel wrapped around as a joke. So I gotta be honest. I gotta be fair. According to Conway, he never wore a dress. Okay, just to keep it a buck on some hip hop shit.
Attempts to try and regain his once prominent place, he's resorted to using beef as a gimmick. Besides the transatlantic beef with Skepta that frankly no one asked for, Lucas kept attempting to stir up further manufactured conflict at every opportunity. Sometimes I low-key be feeling I want to get in the URL battle rap ring. Yo, at URL TV, let me do just one round at first so I can get my feet wet. I low-key wish I can go against one of my peers though, someone who ain't seasoned in the ring already but lyrically fit. But on the other hand, maybe going against a seasoned vet is the fun part. My fave battle. Nobody is off the table. What's up with Meek Mill? And when Meek Mill deems your antics too corny to engage in, then you know things are grim. Alongside dissing MGK only to claim that he was hacked by Russians in a since deleted thread, it's a testament to how people view Joyner that when DaBaby spoke of a lyrical rapper that had attempted to conspire with him to create a fake beef, people already assumed it was Lucas.
This before J. Cole apologized, matter of fact. I got a call, I won't say from who. I got a call from a certain rapper. It's like a lyricist too, like a lyricist, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all know him if I said his name. 1,000% y'all know him, right? And I got a text from him. He shot me a text. He like, yo, he like, hit me, you gonna like this. He like, hit me, you gonna like this. I called him, I'm like, what up? He like, what's up with it? How you feeling? I'm good, what's up with it? He like, you wanna go up? How you feeling? You wanna go up? I'm like, what's up? Talk to me. He say, man, all the back and forth between J. Cole and Kendrick got me fired up, bruh. I feel like we should diss each other. You know, we cool behind closed doors. We should diss each other. Just, you know what I'm saying? We cool, we know we cool, whoop, but bro, I just feel like it'll just go crazy and yada, yada, yada. And I told him, I kind of like, you know what I'm saying, responded like the same way I told him, I'm like, look, I know for a fact what that'll do, right? But I'm like, at the same time, it's a little more personal with me. Like, I'm not about to say certain things about you if I don't really feel a certain way about you. You get what I'm saying? I told him, I said, that's out of respect for you.
Man, why is everyone?
I believe that was Lucas. I'm just going to be honest. You know why? Because he did the UK battle that nobody asked for. Dying to get into a battle. And who else was it? He got was it Tory Lanez? Got into that battle. And the battle with Logic. So I think Lucas is thirsty for that. He thinks that these battles are going to get him in the zeitgeist. That's just my opinion. I could be dead ass wrong, but I feel like that was Lucas. They hit that on the head, gang.
One in the comments saying it's me. LOL. Unfortunately, the precedent that you set for yourself in the music world can follow you around, haunting your every move when you try to move past it. That's why people like French Montana likely regret some of their more embarrassing moves every day. Back in the day, it seemed like French Montana was a...
So, I don't want to do French Montana. Y'all can say pause all you want. But we're going to keep it pushing. Right? Let's just get the Hopsin. It's no need to talk about French Montana.
And I guess all those songs equaled up to 126 songs. Because I was watching everybody doing it. I was watching JT and a bunch of other people that had big records. Right? I seen them just put out instrumentals and all that. I'm like, yo, like how come it's so easy to find this? And when I went on their page and I see they had like 6 different versions, I was like, yo, they geniuses.
But it's fair to say that the public who already didn't rock with French didn't take it that way. This looks like a cry for help. Like, damn, you must really need streams. Prior to the release of Mac and Cheese 5, French Montana also sold vinyl records on his site for $5 pre-orders. Initially, Hits Daily Double reported that French was likely to debut at number 3 on the Billboard charts with sales of upwards of 56K. As these figures emerged, it looked like French had pulled it off, and really reasserted himself that this wasn't the case, as the chart position slipped up to just number 14. The reason why is that, upon investigation, is that those numbers were completely fraudulent. Boosted sales fraud? French Montana sold vinyl records on his site for $5 pre-orders back in January. With all the albums needing to be shipped on release date to count towards sales, it seems like almost everyone that purchased it has had it delivered to some random address. This seemed to be the case of fake shipping confirmations in order to boost sales numbers for the album. At French Montana. If someone on your team wishes to comment on this, my DMs are open, but I have received dozens of messages alleging the same. My order was also delivered a few states away. For French, a big part of what has rendered him corny is that exact problem of always playing it too safe and chasing the trends to stay put. Now, French finds himself wandering in the desert of hip-hop. And while the return of his old partner Max B from prison has done him some favors, it remains to be seen how long he can cling onto those newly regained coattails before. But some of those who've been hit...
All right, so this the one. This the one right here. So I'm gonna be honest. I've been Hopsin has been an enigma to me, gang. I don't know how many of you remember Hopsin, right? Hopsin has been an enigma to me. I'm talking about Hopsin. Some of you don't remember Hopsin, so we're going to play this clip right here for Hopsin. But Hopsin has been an enigma to me. I never got this guy. I was like, it always seemed like he was doing way too much, and I never understood. I was like, but people loved him and hated him equally, and I was like, why do they love him? Why do they hate him? I never understood it. I used to listen to his shit. I watch his videos, and I walk away like confused and shit. I'll be like, okay, I'm rooting for you, homeboy, but it is what it is, right? I didn't never really understand Hopsin whatsoever. I just was like, okay, right? Just gonna be honest. Diego said Hopsin, I remember in the 8th grade, right? Dizzy Wright, salute to Dizzy Wright. I never understood it because he would attack people. Hopsin was Tyler before Tyler. I'm just gonna be honest. I think they came out around the same time, right? If I'm not, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I think Hopsin came out around the same time as Tyler. And a lot of people may not even remember Hopsin, right? Let me see what Dara said. I rock with Hopsin, not gonna lie. He made some records. He made some records, right? But he always he was almost like a what's homeboy's name? What's homeboy's name? What's my guy? A Tech 9. Underground hero, right? People revered him and they kind of looked at him with a degree of like respect. I feel like Hopsin was the same way, but he didn't play it like Tech 9. Tech 9 respected his fans. He knew where his bread was buttered. He didn't try to be over here, didn't over there, wasn't doing a lot of corny ass records. He come in, do his tour, get his money, get out, and wash, rinse, repeat. Hopsin seemed to always have emotional trauma. Always he was mad at somebody for this, that, and the third. Destroyed the whole fucking crew. Then did a video. I used to watch all kind of shit about Hopsin, just trying to understand why he always seemed like a mental case. I never understood this guy. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm like, even when Eminem shot him out, he got all crazy about it. It just felt like he was a really good rapping fan, a fan that could rap really, really good, right? So, Girly Jock, we on Hopsin right now. So, I've been trying to figure out, and then he fell off. I went actually searching for him, like, what happened to Hopsin? So, I've always been mad curious. What the hell is the deal with Hopsin? Why is it that this guy is always tripping over himself and doing these god-awful things to his own career? Then he'll come back out of nowhere with a brand new video. Like, I'm like, or he'll take 5 years and you don't know what happened. So I'm just letting you know right now, Hopsin is in this video rightfully so. He's in this video rightfully so because mad people look at Hopsin as cringy and corny, just like Stats just said, right? He's another lyrical dude, but he was cringy and corny. Me, gang, I don't know if you know anything about me, but I am a lyrical dude. When you peel back the layers, when it's all said and done, I respect the lyrical craft. Now, I can't listen to that on repeat constantly, right? I like my shit to have an edge to it. So, yes, I can do lyrical, but my shit got to have some real life in it as well. It got to have some relatability in it. It got to have some meaning and some consciousness too. It got to have street shit. It got to be all that. It got to be something I can relate to because I can relate to all that in my personal life, right? I can relate to this and that. But when you're overly lyrical, and you're way too emotional and you're unstable and you attack people, you lash out, that right there, I can't, because let me just say this. Where I'm from, you don't get too many chances to just lash out at people. That's some suburban shit. I'm just going to be honest. Where I'm from, you don't get a lot of, you get to lash out and disrespect people. That's some fucking, that's some that's some up in the hills, up in the valley, down in the valley. They get to do all that. We don't get to do a lot of that unless we really want problems. But Hopsin is, he's that. He disrespect people when he felt like it. Like I said, he broke his whole crew up, a whole lot of shit. They all blame him, right? He blames them, they blame him. It's a whole thing. Toy said, I don't even know who this rapper is. So I'm going to play the video and we're going to talk about Hopsin. For those who know from that blog era and then that he's before us, he's pre-SoundCloud, if I'm not mistaken. I think Hopsin is pre-SoundCloud. So let me play this video. We're going to all learn today who don't know who Hopsin is.
With this label are so original and single-minded that they wind up going too far the other way. Hailing from Panorama City, Hopsin was a young skateboard kid who had such bad ADHD that he couldn't focus in class. However, he did have a talent for rhyming and always had ambitions far beyond the limits of his upbringing.
So I always pictured myself being wealthy and, you know, being able to travel the world, I didn't know how, if it was going to be through skateboarding, through acting, through doing voiceovers for cartoons or animation or music. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I knew it was going to be one of those things. And, you know, when I was around 14 years old, I just realized that it was more than likely going to be music that took me to that level. And I knew within myself that I wasn't going to stop until I, you know, found out the formula that worked for me to allow me to reach that point of success that I wanted to be at. And, you know, and I'm at a level now, you know, where I'm very comfortable. You know, I'm good. I found my flow. I found my lane. There's still levels that I want to reach, but yeah, since I was a younger kid, I kind of had an idea that this was all going to be my life because I just couldn't see myself working at McDonald's.
After racking up some regional attention, his career released via Eazy-E's former label, Ruthless Records. Ultimately, the project flopped, leaving him to scramble to find the way forward, and with plenty of smoke for his former employer.
So gang, right there, let's pause it for a second. You've got to understand what you just heard. Hopsin is a skateboard kid from one of them skateboard communities, which are mostly suburban stuff. I believe I can't remember what they said where he's from, but they said it. But he had ADHD, this, that, and the third, right? Now, what they just said was he signed to Eazy-E's Ruthless Records. Eazy-E was long dead, but if I'm not mistaken, right? I don't think he signed a fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? It got that early 90s. But end of the day, I believe that Eazy-E's wife may have been running Ruthless at the time, and I believe that was Tamika Wright. Right, I believe she was running Ruthless, maybe, or I think somebody else was running. I don't know. Ruthless Records is a gangster rap label. Maybe they were trying to change their image or what have you. They signed him. That's a rapper who, in my opinion, doesn't know who he is, because you're not that. He's not that. Hopsin is not gangster rapper. So right there, you're signing the Ruthless Records. You're already showing us, I'm not sure what I want to do, who I am. He's going to say that. But we're looking at a guy who came in the game confused of who he is and what he's supposed to be.
Employers.
I wanted everything to work out with Ruthless when I first signed with him. I wanted to be the guy who brings Ruthless back, and all this energy and all this buzz that I'm getting, you know, Ruthless could have had this and it would have been dope. But if I was a brainwashed artist who didn't know the reality of the industry like I was at first, I would have thought it would have been dope. I hate that album. I hate it. There are a few cool songs on it, but overall, I was still learning myself. I mean, I was still learning, and a lot of the tracks were from like 2004. I was signed to Ruthless so long, 3 years went by, and I'm like, I can't, like, I thought the album was gonna come out like in 2007, and then it didn't come out to 2009.
Moving on, Hopsin leaned on all the things that made him different as particularly what could make him a star. But above all else, his buzz was heightened by regular doses of shock value, with Hop dissing everyone from Rick Ross and Lil Wayne to Tyler the Creator. And as he continued to carve out his niche with his funk volume imprint, his series of Ill Mind of Hopsin tracks was lauded by his fans and deemed.
But let me just say this, somebody that's dissing all these rappers for no reason, we can consider that as corny. I think we can say you're confused. You don't know what you want to do. Got the contacts in his eyes. I was always fascinated with this guy. Like, this guy's weird as shit. I like weird. I like lyrical, but I don't like you lashing and dissing rappers for no reason. It seems a little contrived and desperate, in my opinion. And it feels like you're looking for attention. And that's why people consider it corny. And Diego's right. Tyler was so corny back then too, right? He's right. So we looked at Tyler as corny. Now Tyler has become Tyler, right? You could say Tyler. You don't even need to say Tyler the Creator. Now it's just Tyler. At one point, you had to say Tyler. Tyler who? Tyler the Creator. You never heard of him? Da-da-da. The guy with the da-da-da. I think he wore contacts in his eyes at some point for some video too. So these were young guys, like they're saying in the chat, and they were finding themselves, right? But I don't know if Hopsin grew out of that. Tyler, let's just be honest with the Tyler you got right now. He disavows all the shit that he did when he was a so quote unquote edgelord. He's trying to shed that image. I don't know if Hopsin cares that you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let me continue.
Embarrassing by everyone else.
He tries very hard, which is part of what makes his music so hard to listen to. The preachiness, the cringy lines, the ridiculous song topics. He's way too obsessed with dropping jewels for a guy whose life view do is just too bitter and warped to be taking notes from. If you are copying off of Hopsin's paper, you are probably not going to pass this class.
From his 2013 album Knock Madness onwards, Hopsin seemed to always have just as many haters as he did fans. But around 2017, things really began to tip with the release of his largely hated project, No Shame. By the time he released this critically panned album, tracks like Happy Ending, a song about visiting massage parlors, got him roasted across the internet even more than he did on average.
That's crazy.
And at that stage, Hop began to realize that he'd pushed things a little too far.
Man, I had forgot about that he did it so until I watched this video, and I kind of low-key remember that, and they was cooking them. But it's a dumb concept, right? But like I said, lyrical miracle dudes, they think on a scientific level, and they think of all these things that they can say. Oh, this will be a good, because they're searching for the next topic, the next thing. So his lyrical miracle warped ADHD, all the shit he got going on within himself, and he got a lot of drama. Always in drama, this, that, and the third. He thinking that, oh shit, this concept has never been done. Let me make a song about going to a bunch of massage parlors and getting happy endings. That'll work. No, it's not going to work. People don't want to hear music like that. But he did it, and it backfired.
It dropped. I was like, man, it's going to shut the internet down. It's going to break the internet. It didn't break the internet. It broke my career. For real. That was the first video. Every single comment was hate.
Fans wasn't fucking with it at all.
Every single comment. You know, my fans, they ride with me to death. They
wasn't fucking with it.
No one was. I read every comment. I cried.
Clearly, it wasn't worth the gamble, as not only did the record finish at number 42 on the charts, but the experience was so bad that he's yet to drop a new album ever since. And these days, he's resorted to working with some of the other artists who are deemed to be lamed by the masses.
What about Dax? I feel like that's an interesting collab too, because I feel like he's sort of like occupying a very similar lane to you at this point.
We actually collabed 2019.
Right.
It's a song called You Should Have Known. That's the name of the song. It's actually one of my favorite songs. Like I love that collab, and I love how Dax came off on that song as well. So I can see the similarities between Dax and I. You know, he's doing his thing. He's I don't want to say he's new, but he's not new now because he's been in it for a few years now. But he's really muscled through the shit. Like he's really, like, I've seen him go from here to fucking here. So he's yeah.
So for those that don't know who Dax is, Dax is a different level. And getting with Dax was a bad idea in the first place. Let's just be the way they look at Dax right now is not good. He's pretty much the king of dad rap and cringe. So if you're gonna do songs with Dax, you're pretty much hanging it up. All credibility. You're pretty much you're throwing it out the window. I'm just gonna be honest. I think Dax, I'm gonna do a deep dive on Dax one day because it's fascinating how ridiculous this guy's career has went and the nonsense he's rapping about. It's just the whole rap scene is just in shambles. Gang on that level, shambles. Right? We know what the good rap is, but somebody got to talk about what's awful. Like what's awful rap. Now, end of the day, we can't say some dudes just worked hard to get where they are. They built their fan base. They know who they are. They're not trying to do anything other than what they already are capable of. So it is what it is. But him getting with Dax, and Joe Blacko is right, a Facebook rapper. That's where I first heard of Dax, on Facebook. And I think Dax, I'm being honest, I think this guy, he might have been at this about 12, 13 years minimum. Like Dax been at it, gang. Dax been at it. Ron said, isn't this Louaista video? Yes, this is Louaista. Salute to Louaista. It's a reaction to Louaista. He broke down the 4 corniest rappers and why they call him corny. Actually, through Hopsin and French Montana, so it's really 6. But I didn't really want to talk about French. I just want to move on. So let me see. I rock with Dax until I found out how terrible he is of a person. Moves like a snake behind his holy lyric bars. Yeah, and I think he did a lot of like some fake shit, and then he kind of act like he didn't do it. Like he just does some funny bunny shit. A lot of white suburban boys and dads. He screwed Screw. Just looking at the comments. K Mega said a lot of white suburban boys and dads. That's who he makes the music for. I Manifesto said or L Manifesto. I think it's I Manifesto. Screwface John Cook Dax and made me a fan of him. Yeah. So it is what it is. So what's going on? Let me see what else going on. Let me finish.
But even amid all the damage he took to his reputation, Hop would deem it to be all worth it when he got his flowers from his hero Slim Shady on the track The Ringer when he spit, "I inspired the Hops and the Logics."
Eminem just said my fucking name on his goddamn song on his new album. This shit is crazy. Whoa! Shit! Oh, shit! What the fuck? I didn't even know he knew who the fuck I was. God damn! He said don't tell him about the culture, implying that I'm part of the culture. Oh, shit.
No matter where he goes from here, Hopsin insists that being referred to as corny doesn't faze him, but he does draw the line when it comes to his family.
You know, me being famous, I'm used to hate comments. It's nothing to me. People call me corny, whack, he's bullshit, he fell off all day. I'm used to it. But her being I've done enough damage, you know, in the past with the songs that I've made aimed towards her, and I just didn't want to contribute. I know like a normal person, when they see people talking about them online, they'll be like this all day. What they say? I can't believe they think. And they'll literally read all 18,000 comments. And then they'll get off feeling suicidal. And they'll, you know, it's really gonna impact the way they move, you know? And I didn't want to do that to her. I just wanted it to be a message to her, and that's it, you know? So I turned the comments off.
And while Hop could take much of the hate and keep it pushing, not everyone can do the same.
The same internet that I fell in love with and how I would engage with fans is not the same that it is today. And so I could literally, all
right, gang, we just left Hopsin, and now we're gonna get into the one that is the most, what's the word I'm looking for? We're gonna say, is it complicated? I don't know if it's complicated or not, but we here with Logic, right? And I wanted to talk about Logic because I don't know. Well, I do know. I think Logic is another one who tries too hard. He wants acceptance on both sides, and he wants to keep reminding you that he's half black, half white. He wants to keep telling you that as if that matters as much as he thinks it does. It don't matter until you keep telling us that it matters, right? That's when it starts to matter. And I think he's very uncomfortable in his skin and how he acts. And so he wants to make you comfortable by keep explaining, no, it's okay. I'm black, guys. It's okay. I can say the N-word, this, that, and third.
happens all the time. It's like I go and I'll be like, I love you guys. And somebody's like, and I'm just like, yo, how can you just say this and nothing happens to you? Like, that's crazy to me, dog. And they'll shit on me, and it's gonna happen. They're gonna call my baby ugly, and they've already shit on my wife and made accounts and called her ugly, you know, and this whole thing. It's like, it's crazy. It's insane.
Like many of the rappers on this list, Logic's career started off on a high note. After his initial mixtape run, Logic's early spell on Def Jam led to acclaimed albums like Under Pressure and The Incredible True Story. But once he released Everybody, a project in which he tried to embrace more socially relevant concepts and placed his biracial identity to the forefront, the audience switched up on him. The same fans who had heard 1-800 and been like, this is amazing, this is so special, this is needed, are now the ones going, this sucks and he's too mainstream. Logic reflected in his autobiography. The most popular thing I'd ever done, the song that was going 7 times platinum.
Hold up, gang. I gotta find out how old Logic is before I say this. How old is the rapper Logic? Logic is 36 years old. He's born in 1990, right? I'm going to say this, gang, at the risk of whatever. It's a little pompous to have an autobiography at 36 years old, gang. I'm just going to be honest. It's just a little bit. Just a little bit. And that already had been out. So that's a few years ago. So what's going on, gang? You got an autobiography in your 30s. An autobiography in your 30s. What's going on? How? Let me continue.
Suddenly became the worst song Logic ever made, and from there, Logic struggled with public perception, routinely wondering why the audience didn't gravitate to him in the way that he hoped. And above all else, it was clear that he couldn't handle how cutthroat it was. Later, discussing how profoundly this hurt him.
Joe Budden said, Logic is the worst rapper to ever grace the microphone in the history of hip hop. Those words came out of his mouth.
We were sitting next to him, I remember.
I read this and my heart rate explodes. And I'm like, oh my God. And I go out and I'm at like the Garden and everyone's like rapping my lyrics and shit or whatever.
And you still felt
and I'm like, I'm a failure. What I'm saying is at that moment, it was the height of me caring about what other people say. It was the height of people's opinions on me bearing deep into my heart and affecting my everyday life. And after that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I really fuck with Charlemagne and I respect Charlemagne. Let me just say that now. When he basically kind of called me homophobic without even watching an interview, and I was like, I didn't even say that, and then for him to just out his mouth be like, yo, who raped your sister, like so callous, like that fucked me up. And I actually held on to that for like 6 years, man. And I was like, this isn't healthy. And I'm talking to my therapist about it, and I put it on record. I talk my shit on a record, right? You know what I mean? And
it's just a lot of unhealthy behavior. It's just he let too many people affect how he feels about himself. It's just too many stories like this. Joe Budden, Charlemagne, everybody can affect how he feels about himself. And that's a problem, especially for a rapper that's trying to be world famous, and you're going to take a whole lot of heat. You got to have a thicker skin than this. Even the greats going to take heat, but they're going to deal with it differently. And I get it. Some people want to be more open, and maybe that's how he got his fan base. But it's not smart to be this vulnerable. You let somebody say something and it hurt you for 6 years, my G.
And it's history. It doesn't fucking matter. I respect Charlemagne. Some of the shit he be saying is wild. You know what I mean? Like asking me what I'm doing for the Black Lives Matter movement as a black man who looks white.
After a succession of poorly received albums and endless trolling from fans, Logic retired following the release of No Pressure and seemed to be content. In reality, this was merely him leaving the commercial world behind and to focus on projects like Vinyl Days, which were more for him. And at that stage, he actually appeared content.
I mean, hopefully people enjoy it. Hopefully I really, really, really want people to love this album. But if they don't, I'll just be with my kid, having fun, shooting guns in Montana. So it's like, I want to be accepted. I want to be loved. I want to be this, I want to be that. And the funny thing is we'll see things like different people will talk about acceptance. Oh, why is so-and-so not accepted in hip-hop, or isn't this or isn't that? But it's like so actually really funny, like to say that Logic isn't accepted in hip-hop is the stupidest thing he could ever say. Because I make hip-hop music and millions of people love me. I was this circle.
However, it wasn't enough to stop the like.
And so, like, if you can say I make hip-hop music and millions of people love me, why are you devastated in therapy because Joe Budden said this, that, or the third? This is where the corny thing comes in, because you're openly on here telling us you got millions of fans that have bought your record, but you're still complaining about the critics of the music, the guy, and we all are subject to that. But it's how you show it, and that's how you're perceived as corny, right? Everybody can address their haters, but it's how you address them. You can address them in the lyric, you can address them this, but it sounds like Logic addresses him in every kind of way. On record, on wax, to his wife, to his therapist, to everybody, just nonstop talking about these guys that don't have good things to say about him. You know what I mean? It's just weirdo. It's just weird shit. I'm just gonna be honest. I ain't gonna say weirdo. What I'm gonna say is, you gotta learn to your skin got to be thicker, and you gotta compartmentalize some of this shit. All of it doesn't matter. It doesn't all matter. And you gotta lead with, this is the music I want to make. This is what I want to do.
Of Joe Budden from still going at him and demanding that he cease rapping entirely.
Logic, I beg of you, I'm pleading with you, please join me in retirement. Never step near a recording device again. Throw your phone in the ocean. Be allergic to microphones. Promise your fans nothing. Don't to the studio ever again. You are the worst, yo. You are really, really bad. And then when we think he can't get any worse, you have the bright idea of doing an Ice Cube flip.
After a series of new independently distributed projects, his 2024 album Ultra 85 marked his worst sales ever. racking up just 18K first week. And just when you thought he was happy in his own realm, Logic blatantly suggested that he was going to steal another artist's style for the financial rewards.
Yeah, Ultra 85, I put it out and it was fun and fans have been waiting for it for a really long time.
Yeah.
I put my heart and soul into it, but next year I'm gonna fuck them up. I'm about to drop all this like Playboy Cardi trap turn up shit.
Then, sure enough, he unveiled a preview of him doing just that, only to get torn apart even further.
It's a fee. If you want it, can't get it for free. Oh yeah, such a mystery. All that shit you talking,
Logic, I love.
Gang, listen. That right there in and of itself is corny. Even if you were joking with that video, that right there is corny. To say, first of all, you get the lowest sales of your career, then you go. I thought he was joking when he made that video. I'm going to do some future, some Cardi type music. I thought it was a joke because I saw that clip, and I was like, okay, he's joking. Da da ha ha. No, he really did it. That's the most cringiest shit ever, to really go and do that as some kind of power play. Like, gang, like I said, know your audience. You're not going to be doing big giant numbers for the rest of your life. Just make your music and go to do your shows and be happy. Let me continue.
Some of your music, but I'm gonna need 2 large fries, my boy. Whether or not he was trolling, Logic is really not doing himself any favors with each move that he makes these days. Alongside incidents like that, he's also still getting trolled over his obsession with some talking points.
Like, do you feel black and white, or do you just feel one thing?
I feel like me.
Hold on, let me say this. Who knows who that guy is? Because every time I see that guy, he's jamming somebody up. So I think this is what, I don't know this guy, but I sound like, I think low key, cuz whole shtick is to jam you up. So right here, he's jamming up Logic with another question that he clearly shouldn't even be really talking about too much. Deadass. So I don't know who that guy is, but homeboy got a job to do and he doing it.
Like, if you walk past like a barbecue spot, do you feel like part of you comes to the edge of your skin?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, like, do you feel some cells kind of scoot over to, and if you walk past like a cop, do you feel those same cells like kind of move to the other
100%. But the craziest part is like, because here's a fact. Whether you fucking like Logic or not, or whether you're like Logic, whatever, it's like, I don't give a shit. I'm not here to argue, because you know there's people who's like, well, you'll never understand what it's like to walk down the street as a black man.
Hold up, bro. What voice? What's that? What's that voice, dog? What's that voice? As a black man, what's that voice, dog? What we talking about? What's going on? That's your black voice? Do you see why this happens to bro? That's Logic, who's supposed to be half black, doing a white man's black voice. This is what we got going on. That right there, 100% take the corny stamp, put it right in his forehead. Bang. Corny. 100% USDA corn. That's corny, my G. This is why we can't take you serious. This is why. You just made a black voice out of a white man's mouth, who's low-key kind of racist, let's just be honest. And then you want us to not say you're corny? I don't think nobody on this video made a case to not be corny, gang. Salute to Louaista. He made a pretty convincing argument.
And I'm like, yo, all right, why don't you just shut the fuck up? Because you'll never understand what it's like to walk down the street as a black man in a white man's body.
Beyond that, there's really some major contradictions at play. Because while he's always played the role of the nice guy, videos of him screaming at what fans he has left for perceived disrespect at live shows really isn't helping his reputation at all.
Motherfucker, are you on your phone texting as I am giving my all? Get this motherfucker on. Get this motherfucker right. Don't boo him. Don't boo him. Don't boo him. Don't boo him. Who you texting? Who you texting? Your lady. Okay, all right. Okay. What you say? He said, my bad. It's all good. It's your girl. Do you love her? Oh, okay. He loves her. All right. I feel that. Okay. What's your name? Daniel? You think you can do me a favor and pay attention in the fucking front seat, not be on your phone for a second? All right, let's try this one more time. Let's show you how hard it is to do what I'm doing. Let's do it. Here we go.
Dude makes a whole career based off being bullied and made a song to call the Suicidal Hotline just to bully a fan at his concert, LOL. Oh, the irony. How to lose your respect as an artist 101. Heckle your fans. Whether through buying into your own hype, refusing to take criticism and keep it pushing, or simply acting in ridiculous ways, there are any number of ways that your credibility can give way to corniness. And if this video teaches us anything, it should be that you should think first before you act in order to avoid being stung with this label. My name is Louaista, and I want to thank y'all for watching today's video. I'll see y'all.
Salute to Louaista for a very in-depth video, very good video. Somebody said why I didn't want to do French Montana. It's boring, just boring. I didn't want to do it, just boring. All right, that's it. I was bored with the topic. Didn't care. It is what it is. That's it. But man, this is a very eye-opening video, man. When you get all the facts, they come off pretty corny, gang. I'm just going to be honest. Pretty corny, gang, and we see why they're very the confidence is low, insecure. They really got a lot of underlying trauma to deal with, which is untreated. They all seem to be in therapy at some point, all of them, right? Which is fine, that's whatever. But that's part of what's going on. And the simple fact, I feel like what's happening with all of them, including LaRussell, even you, LaRussell, I feel like they got a lot of pressure and they feel it, right? Some people rise to the pressure, right? I think K-Dot pressure right now is a crazy high for whatever he got going on. Shit, Drake, J. Cole, all of them got pressure, but it's how they manifest it into what they do with the music and how they show if they care or not. If they're on here every day bitching, some of these guys learned, man, stop interacting online, period. Some of these guys have figured it out. You're never going to get your way. They're never going to see it your way. So just stop trying. These 4 guys or 5 guys, if we're going to add Hopsin in, these 5 guys didn't figure that out. And they're still trying to impress people that they're never going to impress. And I think they don't know who they are. Right? If LaRussell knew who he was, he would have never apologized for the Lil Wayne stuff. But then come back and catch a hissy fit off of the daggone even you, the heaven sent stuff, and still is carrying that on. But I told you, I think it's like one troll that he's really trying to prove this shit to one troll. I think one troll said something to him crazy, and that's why he's so mad, because he gets mad when he talk about it. But I feel like what we're seeing is guys that they really want, they really, to them, they work hard at what they do. And at the end of the day, they want you to say they're the greatest, they're the best. And look at all the antics that Joyner's trying to do to get your attention, to make you feel like he's the best. And on top of that, all of them have been stamped in some way. LaRussell got stamped by Jay-Z. Big Sean got stamped by Kanye. Hopsin got stamped by Ruthless Records, right? Who else got stamped? Hopsin got stamped by Eminem, right? These guys, they're getting big cosigns, right? I don't know who Logic got stamped by. I'm sure somebody stamped it. But end of the day, they're getting big cosigns telling them you're the greatest, you're next. And we aren't agreeing with that, with the culture. And that's a problem for them. And they're not adjusting to it well. It's not working for them. They don't feel like they're getting a good deal with this. All right. That's it, man. I'm just gonna get out of here. I appreciate y'all watching. I wanted to go through that because all of these guys, I've been trying to figure out what the heck is what happened with them and why I can't rock with them. Right? And I got respect for everybody. Let's just be honest. But when it comes to this thing with the music, some people stick, some people don't. Some people stick, some people don't. And that's all I can say about that. Before I get out of here, I'm going to say this. Bing bong. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. All right. Let them know you need the gummies. All right. I'm out of here, man. Like I said, Girly Jock keeps telling me I'm cutting myself off, so I'm not gonna cut myself off no more. I'm gonna play a video, one of our videos, me, TJ, and Flares, right? Also, before I leave, lock in with this. If you need the shirt, that's the link for the shirt. You can get that QR code. That's for the I'm Just Gonna Be Honest merch. QR code that. Take another phone and scan it. Or you can go over to clbmg.com, lock in, right? That's the t-shirt. I also got the hoodie. Right here, the hoodie's right there. I'm going to be honest hoodie. Also, the Patreon is up. I'm 20 episodes in. I'm going to drop a new episode tonight on the Patreon. This one I'm going to drop tonight, probably be free to everybody. So I'm going to do another free to everybody. Some of the episodes that I put over there be free to everybody. Some of them not, all right? I'm going to do something tonight. All right, lock in. Go ahead on to the Patreon. I got free tiers, all kind of tiers over there, membership, this, that, and the third. All right, we moving and grooving, man. I appreciate you guys. And like I said, I am not going to cut myself off. I'm going to put a video on my way out so that the last couple minutes are not me just going mid-sentence and then I'm cut off. All right. Let me see which I'm going to play. I'm going to play the new This That. All right, gang.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm on a block right now. Fiends everywhere. Let's bring that back, yeah. Just that. Crack sales and project hallways. Ducking 12, they got us boxed in 4 ways. This that. Get money and stack money. Grip tuck always. This that mama, not my child, please. I was a rose out the concrete. Go getter, slow money better than no money. Now it's studio, bad bitches and show money. In the hood, they like you go, homie. They talk behind your back, shit, they so phony. That Illville drip got it all on me. 4/5 Tucker like I got it all on me. Laugh, joke, smoke, no Chris Tucker, I Tucker. And you know this. Bad bitch on the side of me. Rolling up the loudest so she can touch the sky with me. That spaceship lift off, I told her come fly with me. Moonwalking like a Michael. The mic like a machete, and I done went psycho. Bodies in the booth, I'm just spitting the truth. TJ Swords, I've been the truth. TJ Swords, I've been the truth. Been the truth.
Feel me on this one. Let's go. That. Bob Marley with the bomb Bobby from the Gam Yachty. Wake up groggy, turning dandy phantom so they can't find me. This is that. Ghetto tour looking Tomator, I'm so shiny. A celebration when the family gets some dough finally. Poetic justice and hustlers up on some Malcolm shit. That being from the hood but ain't afraid to rise up out that bitch. Drums to leave your boulevard sprung. King of your kingdom, king of the dumb or king of the bums. Stick up Billy yelling, give me that. Saying you know what up, son. The pavement is a nightmare, depending on where you jump from. Scars, monkey bars, and hoopty cars to stretch the ego. Strawberry Tampico with Rico, avoiding that Rico. Or the Gujo, mi gente, we on it. Dominicanas with them BBLs, we tormenting them corners. That Malik got beef with Remy. Trey Doughboy, Ricky, that Kane and Old Dog. That Bishop still Raheem and Quincy.
And we'll still turn your ass to miss me. Ain't no hood against me. On this earth I walk Presley. This that focal point joint. This that pull and shoot point. This that bulletproof doink. You can't pierce it, just annoying. Let them piggies oink oink. I'm the Chuckster, good from here to Russia. Where for the slightest move they bust ya, cause they don't trust ya. This that move to the dresser for them niggas pressure. And have you laying on the floor like a Usher confessor. Yes, sir. So mind your manners up in this place. When them cameras up in your face, you better check your voice for that bass and watch your mouth with all that tone. I got God protecting my home. I will burn your ass to your bones and sit your ashes next to my throne. I'm like Black Snake Moan. Come and get me. I leave something on your neck, it won't be no hickey. It's that police treat me nice like I'm Little Dicky. It's that the nerds rocking with me like I'm Bill Bixby. It's that me and my wife fight like Lucy and Ricky, and you can lose your whole life out here tricking for Licky. The what?